Good morning. Listen to that songbird singing her Happy Saturday song. My mom used to like to go outside and listen to the birds. She didn't go outside to listen to the birds. She went outside to work in the yard, and while she was out there, she would listen to the birds, and she would make up what they were saying. And she said there was one that always called me, Tracy, Tracy. I don't know what that one's saying, but anyway, she's very vocal this morning. That's all I know, and it's beautiful. It's a gray and dreary day. Hey, don't go under there. I can't get, no. We can't get stuck nowhere. What are you doing? Hey. What are you doing? Gotta come back out the same way you went in. I don't know. I never know. My sister's coming today. If you're wondering why I'm up and dressed so early on a Saturday morning, yes, my sister's coming down. If she can get up her driveway, because her driveway is still iced. They can get to her house in the Jeep. So they had a guy come in that works for them. I forgot his name, Jose or something anyway, and asked him to shovel, you know. He said, it's solid ice, man. It's solid ice. It's like 2 inches thick. It's solid ice. I don't know if that's how he talked. I just made that up. But she said he couldn't even shovel it because it was solid ice, and her car is not going to climb a hill on solid ice. But it's much warmer this morning, as you can see, because I'm not all bundled up, and it rained all night. So therefore too, it rained there too. So hopefully it cleaned all that up. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I'm excited that she's coming, or at least I hope she's coming. She's gonna try to, okay? So I just went ahead and got up and got ready, and that way when whatever time she gets here, I'll be ready and she ain't got to wait on me, because I'm one of those people that I don't like people to wait on me. I like to be ready to go, okay? I'm going to be there early, and being there early is on time, and being on time is late. I'm that kind of person. Yeah. Why am I talking about all this? I don't know. Come on, baby. You're just standing there staring, so let's go do something. So, the girls, it was not their night to come, and I had a very nice and quiet evening, and it was so quiet because Kim doesn't call me on Friday night, and after the couple of phone calls I got yesterday afternoon, well, my dad did call me again. I think he called me like 3 times yesterday. He called me again to ask me something, and now I can't remember what it was. But it was just a very nice, quiet, peaceful evening. We've got a peaceful, easy feeling. So, I don't have like any story to tell. The only thing I did yesterday was, besides work, I got in the car and I went and picked up lunch, and I went to the office and I ate my lunch at the office, and I had to get a bunch of folders and paper and blah blah blah. Oh, I had to write down the names of all my files so I can make new files for this year. Very busy day. So anyway, that means all I have is an old story. Well, except that car, this sounded like it was racing up the street, which reminded me, there's some boys that live over here. And when I walked Penelope yesterday, they were, when I say playing chicken, they weren't really playing chicken per se, but every time a car would come, they would take off running and hide from it, and then they would come back to the road. And this I don't know, probably early 70s model, but I think it was a 1970 Camaro with very loud mufflers. Came rumbling. It was kind of a gold color, and which I think is the original color. From what I was Googling last night, the gold color came out in 1970. So that's why I'm saying it was a 70s model. But they were like, what kind of car is that? I said, that's a Camaro. And in its day, it was a very cool car, okay? Yeah, Camaros, Trans Ams, all those were very cool cars, okay? What do you mean, what kind of car is that? Y'all are fired, okay? You're fired from being kids. You're not allowed to play this game anymore because you disrespected the Camaro. Wait, I'll be back, okay? Hi. So, my point to all that was I don't really have a new story to tell except for the boys that were playing, running from the cars. But, I saw a job name yesterday that reminded me of an old story that I've told it, but it's been a few years ago, and I've got some new followers. So I'm going to tell it again, because some of these stories need to remain out there. You know what I'm saying? They don't need to disappear in the archives of my Tracy Dries, okay? So we had a deputy named Bobby, and Bobby was a brick house, okay? He was built like a brick house, and he was overweight, but he was one of those that was solid, and he wasn't real tall. I mean, he was just stocky, okay? Well, he would pick up inmates from the jail, and he would take them to whatever doctor's appointments, and if it was a female, then he would have to have a female with him, a female deputy from the jail. Sometimes I got to go on these visits, and you just had to have a female in the car if a male was transporting a female. That was just our policy on, especially going to a doctor's appointment where they had to go in. Because obviously you don't want a male deputy standing there while they're having things checked out. You know what I'm saying? So, can you look at the camera? She hates looking at the camera. Anyway, so Bobby was taking a female to the doctor. Sometimes inmates come in and they're pregnant, and they come in for like failure to appear or probation violation where they don't have a bond. So we continue their prenatal care. We take them to their doctor's appointments, all that stuff. And we take them to like our WellStar hospital system for their visits. Now, we do have a doctor that comes into the jail that will treat certain things, but as far as pregnancy, we just continue that with the medical facility. Or at least that's the way it was done back then, because I think now WellStar has come in and brought their nurses in to help with the inmates. But anyway, so Bobby takes this female to the doctor, and when he gets there, he has to key up on his radio and give his radio number and tell where he is going to be out at. So he keys up and says, whatever his radio number was, I'll be code 5 at the OB-GYN clinic. And the dispatcher's like, the what? And he's like, the OB-GYN clinic. It was OB-GYN. So from then forward, I always called it the OB-GYN clinic. OB-GYN. OB-GYN. Yeah. Also, we had police phonetics that we used. So, like when you talk to AT&T or whatever, and they're trying to give you a bunch of letters and numbers, they'll say T-Tom, A Apple, you know, C-Cat, whatever. Well, we used military phonetics, and which there are a couple of different versions, but this is the ones we used. A Alpha, B Bravo, C Charlie, Delta, D Delta, E Echo, Foxtrot, Golf, Hotel, blah, blah, blah. But Bobby had his own. He made up his own phonetics. And he said, P possum. It's like, well, possum technically starts with an O. It's actually an opossum. But in the South, we call them possums, okay? We dropped the O. And then he said, A-Orangutan. A-Orangutan. And it's like, orangutan actually starts with an O. Just like a possum, it actually starts with an O. But he would come up with his own phonetics to use on the radio, which was quite hilarious. But, yeah, that was Bobby. He was so fun to work around. And then we had a restaurant called Fuddruckers. Fuddruckers. And y'all may can imagine how a deputy might mess that up when they went out for their meal at Fuddruckers. It was Rudd. You can guess the rest, okay? Anyway, that's my couple of jail stories from long ago, just to keep them alive in the archives of Tracy Tries, yes. But anyway, I hope y'all have a great day. Remember, I love you. Jesus loves you. I hope he's coming back soon because people are crazy. And I'll talk to you on the next one. Toodles. Keep smiling.